One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
Hi, I'm Scott Stricklin, the athletic director at Mississippi State, and today I'm going to talk about a question I get from a lot of my peers who are on the cusp of becoming athletic directors, guys and ladies who are deputy ADs or senior associates who want to take that next step. And the question I get is, what's it like moving from that associate or deputy chair into the big chair, so to speak. And it's interesting how many things are like they are before, but how many things are drastically different. So I've got 5 things that kind of jump out at me when I think about moving from being in an associate role into the athletic director's position. And number one is when you get in that role, make sure that you understand that it's really important to get advice. You don't instantly have all the answers, even though because there's a title next to your name, people tend to think you do. But I found that a lot of experienced athletic directors and a lot of other people around you want to help and want to provide advice. And I think you have to have some humility about you to understand that it's okay to ask people what they think and to take their advice and make it part of your thought process. And so I think it's important to lean on those who have some experience when you're first getting started. And really even beyond that, I think it's always important to do that as just a growth mechanism for your own personal benefit. But even though you're getting advice and people are suggesting things that you should do to make to do your job better, the second thing I would advise new ADs is make sure you're still trusting your instincts. Don't just poll a bunch of people and make the decision based on what a majority of people have told you. You need to trust your own instincts. You were hired into that position because somebody trusted you and wanted your decision making being the final authority, so to speak. And so it's important to get advice, but at the end of the day, you still have to trust your own instincts and make the decision that you feel most comfortable with. The third thing that I think is really critical is when you move over into that main chair is make sure you lead. Make sure you're setting the direction and make sure everybody understands exactly what it is as a department you're trying to accomplish. I think it's also it's a bit of a learning curve. It was for me in a couple of instances to make sure that you're very careful with your words, because what I found when I was an associate AD is I could make suggestions in the staff room, and if it wasn't a good idea, then people would just kind of blow it off, and if it was a good one, people might talk a little bit more about it. But it was you could be a little more carefree with comments. But once you're in the athletic director position, when you make those kind of offhand comments, people start writing them down and thinking that, hey, that's something we're all going to do because the athletic director just said it. So you got to be careful with your words, but you also have to be purposeful and make sure you're leading and setting the direction. Number 4, I think it's really important that you're both highly visible yet low key. Your presence and your absence are both noticed, especially by your coaches and student athletes. So it's important to go to practices. It's important that your athletes and your coaches know that you're involved and you're engaged. You don't have to be out there in the middle of everything. You don't have to make a show of it. But I think it's important that your athletes and your coaches and even parents and fans, everybody else, see that you're going to all the events and they know that you're stopping by practice on occasion and that you're going to be visible in their lives and what they're trying to get done, and that you care. And also it's important just around the department in general to walk through the halls and make sure the offices, people see you and they know that you're a presence. And then the fifth thing, I think this is good in any role and anything we do in life, is to understand that you may be at the top of the org chart, but really the best leaders are those who practice servant leadership. And making sure that you understand as a leader, it's your goal not to have everybody help you get where you want to go, but it's your job to make sure everybody in your department, every athlete, that's on your teams, every coach, every staff member, it's important that they understand that you're going to help them get where they want to go. And hopefully you've got a plan in place that as those people accomplish what they want to do, it's also making your department better. And I just think that idea of looking after the people working around you and who you're interacting with and helping them achieve their goals is the way to really make sure your department is successful as possible. So just in recap, 5 things. Make sure you get advice. Make sure you trust your instincts. Make sure you lead and set the direction. Be highly visible, yet low-key, and be a servant, and make sure you're helping those around you.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.